assemblage of folks here. I'm not going to attempt to go through and introduce them all, but I do want to acknowledge a few of my colleagues, elected officials that are here. We have Norfolk County Treasurer Joe Connolly. We have State Rep Bob Nyman, State Senator Bob Hedlund, State Senator Mike Morrissey, Representative Alan McCarthy, and that pretty much covers the legislative folks. I have the great honor of introducing the Governor of the Commonwealth here to you today. This is truly a historic occasion. I've been involved in this project for 17 years. To be in this building today and having the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for the first time in 17 years set foot on this property is truly a momentous occasion. For recognizing the importance of this development to the economy of the South Shore. For 17 years we've been battling. 17 years, and I look around and there are some people who are on the original committee with me, and I won't name names because they'd be depressing. This thing is going on, and we don't want to depress anyone. This is to talk about the future. But for the first time, we have an administration that recognizes the importance of this to the regional economy. We've been able to work with the governor's team on numerous occasions. The parkway that will connect Route 3 and Route 18 would not exist if it were not for the efforts of this governor's team. They stepped in with a creative plan that will get the job done, get it done quickly. The quicker that roadway is there, the more real this project becomes in the minds of investors and developers. So we are here for really, I'm here to thank them, because to me it is truly a recognition of the fact that this project is important for the first time in its history by someone who is sitting as the Chief Executive Officer in the Commonwealth. So with that, I thank the Governor for being here, and I give you Governor Deval. Thank you.
Thank you all for the warm welcome and for coming out today. I also want to acknowledge the members of the legislature who are here, who are partners with us in this project and in so many other important endeavors. I know a number of local officials who are here, and we appreciate you for your support on this project, and so much of what we're working on together. And friends from Organized Labor are here as well. Madam Mayor, thank you. You sure you're ready for this?
I'm ready. You are right.
I am indeed, and looking forward to partnering with you. And I want to acknowledge Secretary Bielecki, who is here from Housing and Economic Development, and members of his team as well. I hope that mostly what we can do is have some conversation, but maybe I'll just make a couple of comments to set the table and then open it up and give you a chance to tell me what I need to know, although Peter has already handed me the long-range plan for evidently all I have to do is do this. And at least Peter will be happy. Just generally, I want to just talk about some things that we are working on together to stimulate our local economy on the South Shore and all across the Commonwealth. You know, as you've been watching and reading the national press about the ways in which the national economy has been softening. In Massachusetts, in fact, we are holding our own. Our unemployment rate is not only lower than the national unemployment rate, but it's lower this year than it was this time last year. While the national employment was dropping by 250,000 folks between December and March, we added 5,000 jobs here in Massachusetts. The housing bubble has burst nationally, but the drop in prices has not been as precipitous here in Massachusetts as it has been elsewhere. Frankly, at the state level, revenues continue to run ahead of benchmark, at least through March. But we know, you know, that we're connected to national and international economic trends. We're not immune from a downturn that may come around the country, and so we are preparing for that. We want to take some steps, not just to brace ourselves, but really to take advantage where we can of things we can do to take advantage of, or to prepare ourselves for the inevitable recovery, because that's one thing about economies, they are cyclical. They do recover. And though there are some on the national level who believe we are already in a recession, many of those same experts say that that recession will be mild. Now, if you are the person who, whose house is in foreclosure, or whose job has just been cut, or whose business's sales are falling through the floor, the relative strength of the Massachusetts economy is cold comfort. And we want to pay attention to the anxieties and to the real hardships that are facing individuals and families and businesses in the Commonwealth. And there's some steps that we're taking. Really a four-part plan. One has to do with restraining discretionary spending at the state level. The second has to do with investing aggressively in our infrastructure and in our people. A third has to do with how we position ourselves for long-term economic strength and growth, particularly in a couple of areas where there is unique promise, I think, here in the Commonwealth. And the fourth has to do with securing the safety net for vulnerable people, for vulnerable small businesses as well.